And welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Inside Career Technical Education. I'm Ann Baldwin, one of the hosts of this podcast.
And I'm Jim Bologa, President and CEO of Porter & Chester Institute and YTI Career Institute.
Big job, big boss, big guy right here in the chair. And we're so excited today there's so many different levels of the experience for the students at all of your campuses. But one of the big things for many programs is the externship. Why don't you start, Jim, by defining what an externship is, and then we'll introduce our guest.
Yeah, sure. So the externship experience really emanates around many of our healthcare educational programs, and what it is it's an opportunity for the students to take the lecture online component that they're currently experiencing, and the hands-on training and education they get in our industry modeled labs, and they actually then they take those skills and they transfer those skills and apply those skills in a real world setting. And we're working with a number of employers throughout the communities that we have physical campuses in, and our goal is to help those students get the real world experience of being an employee and what it means to be a good employee. And we also want to work with employers who are looking to hire students. And so our goal is to get students into the right employer externship experience so that they can just transition right into full-time employment.
Right. And one of those employers, and we're very happy to introduce Madelaine Cubias, and she's the regional manager for Dr. Dental. Madelaine, it's so great to have you here. You've been with the company, Dr. Dental, for about 8 years, and in the dental industry for a long time, 15 years. And Jim and I were both just talking to you, and we've had the opportunity to meet you at some of the career fairs that we were able to have pre-COVID. So thank you for being here. And we're talking really about Porter & Chester and Waterbury, which is right next door to one of your offices. So if you can talk about, Madelaine, how the program works and why you find that the dental students that are attending Porter & Chester Institute are a good fit for your offices.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. So we've been working with Porter & Chester for as long as I can remember, I think for the full 8 years, and it's been a great experience. I had a really good relationship with one of the instructors at the Waterbury campus, and she was able to kind of, send students over to us on a quarterly basis, and we've enjoyed having your students come to all of our locations. We have 18 locations in Connecticut, so we try to get all the students kind of spread out. We team them up with our lead assistants, the leaders of the offices, and we make sure that we just give them that, that real life experience. It's definitely good that they understand the book knowledge of it, the instruments, all of that, but just bringing them into the emotion of the practices, the personalities that they're going to be dealing with, the real patient experience. And a lot of the dental assistants are very eager to, jump in there and learn and kind of see how everything goes. And it's really great to just be able to get these fresh-minded people who are willing to just learn and take everything in. So I would say that 9 out of 10 dental assistants we hire on to Dr. Dental, and I can think of many of them right now that are still with us throughout many of the years that have grown into lead dental assistants and are now training their own externs. So it's been a really great experience.
What are a few things that you look for in a dental assistant coming, out of an educational program like we offer? I mean, if you were to give advice to a group of budding dental assistants, what would be 3 things that you might share with them that you would be looking for that would be key?
Yeah, I think what we really look for in the beginning is somebody who takes initiative. So that person that says, hey, can you show me this? Can you show me that? I want to jump in and sit down with the doctor. I want to assist. That really speaks volumes right from the beginning. And somebody that's dependable. So right away from the beginning, I tell all of our externs, we you come in and the doctors start depending on you. So we have times where you're going to be here, and we definitely expect everybody to be dependable. So everybody that comes in, they're on time, they're ready to work. That's one of the biggest things with us in Dr. Dental. And then, just somebody that has compassion with our patients, because now you're dealing with the real part of the dentistry. You deal with patients that come in, they're in extreme pain, and they look for that dental assistant for comfort, or patients just kind of need somebody to kind of talk them through things that the doctor maybe can't explain to them. So just having these dental assistants kind of be open-minded. And, we get a lot of great candidates from Porter and Chester.
Well, and it's that chairside manner, right? That's so important, because you think about the time that you're in the chair, the majority of that is spent with the dental assistant. It's not necessarily
Absolutely.
the dentist. If you're just tuning into this podcast, Inside Career Technical Education, we're talking with Madelaine Cubias, who is the regional manager for Dr. Dental, 18 locations in Connecticut. Now, that's a lot of dental offices. And it's so great to see that that you've welcomed these students. And I've also heard from potential employers and people who welcome these students to their externships that in most cases, they've learned the basics. They've learned a lot in the industry modeled labs at the particular schools, but there's also a component that each individual practice likes to customize, if you will. So isn't that also the beauty of you can have everybody wants a different kind of assistant. What does this particular dentist want?
Absolutely. And, even it's not even just by office, it's by doctor. So, one of our offices has 3 doctors, and every doctor is going to be a little bit different. So just getting them accustomed to, okay, this doctor is going to want things this way, but then this doctor is going to prefer this way, and every doctor just works differently. So just having somebody that can adjust to those changes is absolutely important as well.
Yeah, so maybe the list of 3 gets expanded to 5, and one of those might be, having an open and flexible sort of disposition to each doctor's preferences. So I think, again, I really like the advice that you've given to folks listening to the podcast about what what you're looking for in future dental assistants. What do you see for the future of your dental practices in the state of Connecticut? I mean, are you guys continuing to grow? Obviously, in this time of COVID, how has that impacted the dental practices?
When we were out due to COVID back in March, we didn't know what we were going to expect coming back in June. We actually came back as a skeleton crew, so the regional managers were running the front desk. We had 1 dental assistant, 1 doctor come back, and we said, okay, let's see what it's going to be like now post-COVID, and let's open back up June 1st. And that's what we did. And in the first week that we opened up, we had an experience that we didn't expect at all. We had a lot of our patients wanting to come back. We had an overflow of, booking out our appointments. We had an overflow of calls coming in. We quickly realized, the regional managers who were running the front desk realized we can't be a one-man crew. We need to bring back more people. We need to bring back our staff. So within a week, we brought back over 90% of our staff, and within 2-3 weeks, our entire staff was back. The staff that was ready to come back. And we were surprised. A lot of people were just kind of ready to get back into dental industry and to their appointments. I think everybody at home kind of wanted to take care of their health a little bit better, and thankfully we're in an industry where, we're in that healthcare industry, and patients were ready to just come back. So we came back at 100% of where we left off, and in July we had one of our biggest months, actually, even pre-COVID. So it's been great for the offices, and we have a compliance director in the company who made sure the 2 months that we were out that we would be 110% prepared with all of our PPE. We stocked up on supplies. We did everything that we had to do coming back, so our entire staff felt safe to come back as well. So it was quite an experience. And it's still, it's still there. It's not gone yet. We still face challenges every single day. But it's, it's the new world that we live in, and I think that we definitely adjusted. And we came back full force. And like I said, not something we expected, but we're absolutely excited. And our plan is to continue to open up more dental practices in the near future. And that looks like that's still the plan. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, no, it's great. This was one of the other questions I was going to ask you is, how does growth look for you? And it sounds like, Dr. Dental is growing or planning to grow. And I would say that, your oral health, I think a lot of folks don't realize, that I had heard a statistic before that, the most bacteria exists in your mouth. So, it's really important to,
and it's the most important to your overall health is your dental health.
Yeah. And so it's
Absolutely.
and it's really encouraging to hear, that, you're back to, sort of like almost normal, post COVID. So that's, it's great to hear for the future, of our dental assistants. I'm very encouraged that there's an employment path there. So, Ann, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Yeah, well, it's a huge advantage to your students and to your dental students at all of your campuses. So when they know that they can transition from, the academics and the hands-on to an externship, and it sounds like, as we just heard from Madelaine, if you do it right, the majority of these externs get hired.
Right.
So you always take that seriously. So Madelaine Cubias, I want to thank you so much. You're the regional manager of Dr. Dental, and we hope that this motivates those folks who might be considering getting into this industry to kind of push them forward and know that there is light at the end of the tunnel and there is a career path that looks very positive. So thank you for being here with us.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you both for having me.
And on behalf of Jim Bologa, President and CEO of Porter and Chester Institute and YTI Career Institute, I'm Ann Baldwin, thanking you for tuning in to this edition of Inside Career Technical Education.